If you edit voiceover regularly, then you're probably familiar with debreathing. If you aren't, it's just what it sounds like. It's cutting breaths out of voice tracks, because when you compress voice tracks, sometimes the breaths can sound a little bit exaggerated and can be a little bit distracting. Now, there's a plugin that I use sometimes to help me with debreathing. It's from Waves, and it's called, understandably, DeBreath. And it's pretty good. It does leave some breaths in, and it sometimes throws up false positives where it cuts out things that aren't breaths, but I'd say it's probably about 95% accurate. Let's take a look here at how it works, and I'll show you what systems I've put in place in my Pro Tools sessions so that I can eliminate or work around false positives. So first up, let's see what Waves DeBreath was designed to do, and that is DeBreath. Let's just record a quick voice track. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And I'll just R to zoom out, and I'll just top and tail it by hitting Control T. Now, DeBreath. Go into Audio Suite, DeBreath, Mono. And these are the factory defaults that I've got here. And you can see that, bang, beautiful. Breaths are gone. Let me grab my headphones. Let's have a listen. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Absolutely lovely. That's exactly what you want from a debreather. So the only thing that I would point out of what I've done here is that I would never use the Waves DeBreath in an insert. For two reasons. One, it's got crazy latency, and secondly, you cannot 100% rely on it. As I said before, it's about 95% accurate, which is great, but yeah, if it's not 100% and if you can't rely on it every time, then my preference would be to drop it in Audio Suite so you can then work around it. So I'll get rid of this, and now let's show you some false positives. Before I do, what I've got on my screen here is an auxiliary channel with a high-pass filter on it, and that is feeding the record track. And the microphone is an SE Electronics 4400A, which I'm a big fan of. Now, I should also point out as well, this video should never be considered as a review. What I'm about to show you is deliberately triggering false positives. It's in no way symptomatic of what you'll find in every single time that you do it. So, with that in mind, let's see what happens when you see. My experience of Waves DeBreath is that it has problems with words that start and end with C or K. It's the phoneme K. It doesn't like that. It thinks that it is a breath a lot of the time, at least with my voice. So let's do some K words. Cake, Coke, Cork, Canuck. Captain Kirk is a Canuck who enjoys his cake with Coke. Now, there's our voice track. Now I'll just highlight to top and tail that. And let's go into Audio Suite, DeBreath, and render. Now let's listen back. Cake, Coke, Cork, Canuck. Captain Kirk is a Canuck who enjoys his cake with... Okay, so you can see that even at the end there, it cut out a whole word. So what I'll do is I'll undo that with Z, and I'll duplicate this track. So right-click on the name of the track, and then duplicate, and hit OK. Now, you can change the track size, you can do whatever you want, you can change the colour, that's entirely up to you. The only thing I need you to do is hit mute. Once you, because you're not actually using this track as a track that you'll hear, what I'm doing is keeping it alongside this track and harvesting it, if you like, for good audio when the audio goes bad. So I'll go render. And in the exact same spots, because it's an algorithm, we will have lost some audio. So let's zoom in. TTT, Cork. Let's just close that. Now, all I do is hit B and drag it up. And you can drag it up because all Waves DeBreath does is, I think it does a tiny little bit of high-pass filtering, but the major thing it does is it just clips out what it thinks are breaths. It doesn't do any other changes to the frequency spectrum apart from that filter at the bottom end, and it doesn't do anything about compression, any dynamics management. So you can see if I zoom right in, There's no DC weirdness there. It just lines up perfectly, and I can play it back. Cork. And it's just lovely. Canuck. Once again, just highlight that. B, drag it up. Canuck. And much the same here. So we had Captain Kirk is a Canuck who enjoys his cake with. So what you can do is either just, this one here, drag that, or you can just shift tab to the end, and down this one, shift tab to the end, and then just B and drop that up. And then you've got a nice clean voice track. Captain Kirk is a Canuck who enjoys his cake with Coke, which is all well and good. One little extra thing that I will show you. Let's just undo all these fixes. And one extra thing that I do before I do any edits, just after I've debreathed. So here we go. We've just got this track here. I duplicate that by hitting Alt and drag it down. That's in the PC. And I'll go back here, Audio Suite, Debreath, and Debreath. Now, before I do anything else, because invariably you're going to want to do some editing, you'll be tightening it up, or you'll be loosening it, or all sorts of other stuff, I will just group these two tracks together, which is Control-Alt-G. And then, after that, you can start making I'll just hit F1 to go into shuffle mode. You can tighten these up. I'll close that for the time being. Tighten up, and tighten up. So then, if I need to then take that back, all I have to do is just ungroup this section, which is Control-Alt-U, and then drag that up. Sorry, word of caution, get back into sleep mode first, and then drag it up. So, Canuck. We've lost a C there as well. What I can do in this instance is, just on that bit, hit hit B first to isolate it, and then Control-Alt-U, and then, once again, just drag it up. Canuck. Now, it might seem a little bit keystroke intensive, but what I've done is I've got a hardware controller, and I've got a couple of preset buttons, and I just have mapped those keystrokes to those presets. But it's a quick and easy way to continue to debreath without having to worry about the false positives and going into the clip bin to try and find the original track and then dragging the K or the C back in. It's a handy way to work around with Waves Debreath. What are your experiences with Waves Debreath? Have you had a better time or a worse time? If you've got any other tips or experiences, please let me and our fellow Pro Tools Monkey community know in the tips below, in the comments in YouTube. Now, what do you think of this video anyway? Please, tell me with your thumbs. I'd love to find out your feedback. I'm releasing one of these videos roughly once every 4 weeks or so, once a month. So if you'd like to find out when the next video is released, just hit subscribe and you'll be the first to know. Whichever way that is, yeah. And more information about me and my voiceover and audio production business is available at andymar.com. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.